You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, everybody. What is going on? Kaplan and Crew coming at you on a Monday afternoon for our first broadcast of 2022, and really excited to have everybody here. Now, for those of you that are listening, you may not know the difference. If you're listening on 1090, if you're listening on audio podcast platforms, you may not know the difference. For those of you that are watching on YouTube or tonight on television on Channel 4 San Diego, Channel 4 Santa Barbara, Channel 118 in Orange County, and 118 in Palos Verdes, for those of you that are watching, you'll notice a little bit of a difference. I am in the middle of a family ski trip up in Mammoth Lakes. By the way, balls cold, crazy winds, but a beautiful day, and looking forward to getting back out onto those slopes tomorrow. But I just wanted to start off the show and the beginning of it for 2022 by wishing everybody a very happy, healthy, prosperous new year ahead, including my guys, Grande and Brown Man. Gentlemen, happy new year. How's everybody doing? Grande, how's it going, man?
Oh, dude. Notoriously, this is the hardest day of the year for me. The first day. I struggle. Like, you give me 5 days off and then you're like, all right, get back to it. Wake up at 6 a.m. and do your normal thing. I struggle every single time. I'm going to pick it up. But right now at this moment, it's been a struggle all day. Every year. First day of the year. It's a struggle, dude. I am like the most millennial possibly feeling person today. I just feel like out of it, but there's so much good stuff that happened over the last 5 days that I'm ready to get into it. But yeah, I am a 35-year-old struggling millennial right now. That is for sure.
Understood. Brown Man, you're a grinder. You're a worker. In fact, it must have killed you last week to take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off the air. Happy New Year to you, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. I basically, I walked around the park talking to myself in sports segments, just kind of feel the need of sports talk. But I got a question for you, bro. What's with the backwards hat, bro? It's 2022. Why are you dressed like 1994 Tupac? What's going on, bro? Is that the
don't
look?
forget he shaved too. I think that's what it took me a solid 5 minutes to figure out what was different with you. And the shave is
and
there.
Most importantly, he got some modern decor behind him. Brother, listen, now we found out where the 18 million went.
You see you see the chair he's sitting on?
That's what
that
I'm
looks
saying.
Fancy.
Is it really?
It looked fancy when you got up. Yeah.
Let me tell you guys something. So I'm up here in Mammoth, and my girlfriend Rachel, she and a couple of her partners bought a condo up here. It's a rental property, but we're using it for the first time because we're still trying to furnish the place and know where all the things are in this place. When you buy a new place and it's new construction, and literally there's nothing in here. There's no carpets, there's no rugs, there's no couches, there's no spatulas, there's no knives, there's no coffee machine. She is literally spending like hours and hours and hours every day putting this place together. So we're up here right now. I've got my kids. She's got her kids. We're out on a family ski trip because the kids don't go back to school till next week. So even though most people think today, January 3rd, is like the start of their new year, for me, I'm starting my new year next week, although I'm still working while I'm up here. I'm off ESPN in LA. I'm hanging with you guys for a little bit as the week goes on. I got a lot of sided work that's happening, but all in all, I'm up here with my kids. Here, you guys want to see what's going on here? Should I show you? Should I try it with my camera?
As long as you're wearing pants.
Yeah, I'm wearing pants. And by the way, as far as my hat on backwards, Browner, it's mostly because my hair is a disaster. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we put it back. Put it back on. Put it back. Well,
look at this.
Look at that silver fox you got at the top, though.
Yeah, but look at this. Is a nice new place she's got here. I'm kind of showing
it
all up. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. We need to do a Kaplan and Crew retreat up here. Is what we need to do. I know Alex wants to come up here.
Twist my arm, dude. Please.
I know. Alex really wants to get up here. So listen, let me say this. It is the first day of the new year, and I definitely wanted to just jump in and say hello to everybody. Wish all of our listeners, all of our viewers, a very, very happy new year. I want to say that over the last few days, I don't know how it has been for you guys, but I've really had a few minutes to kind of sit around a little bit. As a matter of fact, I was in the bathtub last night. I'll be honest with you. All right. Now, I don't take baths. Do you guys take baths?
Hey,
no.
You're in a bathtub. What are you, 6?
Dude, I haven't been in a bathtub. I can't remember the last time I took a bath.
I can't even fit in the bathtub.
I think That's like I don't know. That's one of the things that I never understood how it became a thing to sit in your own filth. But yeah, no, I'm not a bath person
Okay,
at
I'm
all.
not a bath person either. I don't take baths. I take showers. Last night I sat in a bathtub for like probably 30 or 40 minutes. And dude, I just had a time to just quietly think to myself and think about how amazing the last year has been in our growth as a show. You know, we got back onto radio in August of 2020. We got onto television. I don't remember exactly the month. Do you, Alex? Do you remember what month that was?
I want to say March, but that could be very wrong.
Either way, point is that over the last year and change, the growth of the show and the growth of the Great Friends Network has got me really excited about the upcoming year. I mean, I'm really excited about what we have coming up. And you know, listen, from where we are today with the NFL season going into its final week, which, by the way, can we ask for a bigger, better matchup in the final week than the final game of the regular season? Like, it's a big deal to play the first game of the regular season, but to play the last game of the regular season with everything riding on this one game, you could not have asked for a bigger, better situation. If you're a Chargers fan, you're loving life. I was yesterday sitting in a restaurant here on the mountain in Mammoth, and there was a dad and his son. The son was wearing a Herbolt jersey. The two of them are watching the Charger game on their phone. They're yelling, screaming, high-fiving to each other. They're loving life. And I looked at them and I went, they must not be from San Diego because they're loving this Charger win right now. On the other hand, the Raiders. I was saying this to you guys a couple weeks ago. The Raiders, this is one of the most underrated stories in all of sports right now. And if the Raiders win this game, this is going to be one of the most incredible comeback seasons. And I say it like that because we all know the story. Gruden gets fired or resigns in the middle of the whole season. Henry Ruggs, their first-round draft choice, hits somebody in a car accident, kills the person and her dog. He's gone. What was the kid's name who was their other first-round draft choice? Who was a defensive back. He's history. Okay, the Raiders had all these struggles in the middle of the season, and they find themselves in a position with an interim head coach who was a special teams coordinator and a quarterback that everybody doubted through all this turmoil. And the Raiders find themselves hosting in Vegas a game against the Chargers. And I don't know that both fan bases are as fired up on the rivalry, but I would think that if you're Mark Davis and you're Dean Spanos, you've never wanted a win more. Because these two guys were supposed to partner up and build a stadium together until the NFL said, neither of you guys are doing it. And Mark Davis feels like he was the big winner in the stadium battle. Dean has got his team in position. I mean, guys, the start of the season to play game one, great honor. To play game 18, the 18th week, the final game, I can't wait for this game. And I know it's only Monday.
I got to imagine that if you're the NFL, you are praying that the Raiders win this game because you want that Las Vegas, that new crowd to make the playoffs. You already got one LA team in there, so I don't think they care if the Chargers make it or not. But I mean, do you think that the NFL would prefer the Raiders to make it over the Chargers just because, or
No.
or do the Raiders, or does the NFL hate the Raiders because of the whole John Gruden fiasco, Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett? Like, they've been in the news for all the wrong things. I think
you can't tell the story of the Raiders season because just like how Scott just qualified it by saying these things of what made their season so important. You can't tell the Raiders story without these horrific issues that have gone through. John Gruden quitting was not a good thing. Henry Ruggs killing someone was not. These are not good stories. So I don't think the NFL wants to have that be the feature because I'm interested in because they do these pregame shows. What are they going to talk about in the pregame show? David Carr overcoming these, like the Raiders overcoming these.
You gotta
things?
get,
Yeah,
dude. You gotta
you're gonna
figure
have to
it out.
get right,
Dude.
at
It's
some point.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
It's Derek Carr.
Having a much better career than his brother had.
How
Oh, yeah,
many
I mean,
times?
yeah.
How many times?
What? Oh, y'all still doing what?
Black tie.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Car. I'm gonna start saying car.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be a
let's go with
smarter
D-Car.
thing.
Just
That
go
would
with
be a
D-Car.
smarter thing. Just say car. That would be a smarter
Let's
thing.
say car. Let's just say car.
Yeah.
You guys are so
Well, maybe
caught
not.
up
Maybe
on
the NFL doesn't want the Raiders, but I want the Raiders.
Well, let me tell you something.
different.
I think your point is right on, Alex. The NFL has the Rams in the playoffs. And the Rams are one of the hottest teams in football right now. And even though yesterday they just kind of squeaked by Baltimore, The Rams are in. So the team and the stadium that is the host of the Super Bowl, they're in. The announcement earlier this season that Vegas is getting the Super Bowl. If you can have the Raiders in the playoffs and start building the hype around, hey, this year's this year's LA Super Bowl, 2024 is Vegas Super Bowl. I think that it'd be better for the league if the Raiders were in the playoffs and the Chargers. But this is kind of one of those games where I have a hard time really believing that the Raiders are going to win. This is the kind of game that I feel like the Chargers win this game. But gosh, I'm pulling for the Raiders.
But
I'm a huge Raider fan today.
But who's more Jekyll and Hyde, man, than the Chargers? You never know what you're gonna get with the Chargers, because they'll go out there and they'll perform. Sometimes they look amazing, and then they'll go get crushed by the Texans. So it just makes or lose to the Vikings easily. Like, it makes no sense sometimes what the Chargers do. I think the Raiders are what they are. They are a 500 ball club. They are gonna be mediocre, but sometimes they make enough plays to win a game. The Chargers, I don't know who's gonna show up. You never know who's gonna show up. Like, you just can't. You can't.
Plays Jekyll and Hyde. Who's to know the difference between the two?
Hold on. I'm gonna think about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to put that together as well. Look, all I know is that we finished week 17 of the NFL season, right? This was week 17.
Right. Today is normally in a traditional NFL world. Today is Black Monday because the NFL season is over.
Don't be so offended, Brown. They can call it White Monday for all I care. I don't care.
Then they should call it Fire Monday. It ain't gotta be color associated. Why you gotta put bad stuff with black?
Well, I mean, people call the day after Thanksgiving Black Friday. Are you offended by that as well?
We've been over this. You know, I'm not a fan of that.
Hey, listen, let me just say this. It's only Monday, and we've got an entire week of hype to go between the Chargers and the Raiders. But if you're a Charger fan or a Charger hater, this is an incredible situation that has taken place. It's not the Chargers versus the Broncos. It's not the Chargers versus the Colts to get in. This is Chargers, Raiders, two teams that both moved from their home cities, who at one time thought they were going to partner together with an LA stadium. And now here they are playing each other. One's going home, one's moving on. I love it. Okay,
I wish it was in Oakland, though. Can you imagine this game in the black hole in Oakland, man?
Stabbed.
There's another thing that you might be upset about, Browner. They call it the black hole.
But that's different. That's like it goes along with the team colors. That's not as efficient.
They shouldn't call it the silver hole.
No, I don't know why you would call anything the silver hole. That doesn't make any sense.
All right, we are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, just minutes from downtown San Diego, 7 Mile Casino. And again,
are your kids like waiting for you to finish?
Oh yeah, my daughter just came up the stairs. Something's wrong with her ski boots, and she needs me. She's got a major problem. Everybody needs me. But again, I'm going to hand off the show to you guys for the week. I probably will bounce in and out on occasion. Lawhead's going to come in. By the way, did you guys hear this about Lawhead? Just as a side note, Lawhead sends me a text last night. His niece is the head volleyball coach at West Liberty University in Wheeling, West Virginia. And that is where my son is going to college starting on this weekend. He's leaving this weekend to go to school there. He committed to play football there. Yeah. And so I'm really happy for him. And then Lawhead sent me a text and said, hey, my niece is the head volleyball coach there. So really kind of cool, excited about that.
Small world.
And yeah, it is. It is. Hey, let me just talk to you guys about a few other things. And Alex, I don't have a clock on the segment, so let me know how much longer we have. But a couple other things. The story of the weekend to me, and I know there were a lot of great games. Dude, Antonio Brown, what he did this weekend. Can I ask you guys a question? Do you think that was choreographed? Do you think that he was like, we're in New York. We've lost a lot of guys to injuries. They're not gonna pay me in the future. I mean, I'm just wondering, because I read somebody had said that the thing about Antonio Brown is that he needed a certain number of catches, a certain number of yards, et cetera, to earn a certain number of dollars in bonuses. And he says they weren't playing. Listen, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just telling you with some of the reports that I had read. But Antonio Brown, I've never seen anything like it. I saw somebody yesterday say that he's never been the same since when he was playing for Pittsburgh and he got hit by Vontaze Burfict, who was playing for Cincinnati at the time, and he about ripped his head off. Somebody said he's never been the same guy. He's always been a strange guy. Is this the beginning of CTE and the craziness, or is this just a guy who choreographs this. Hey, we're in New York. I'm going to get a ton of publicity. I'm just wondering, what do you guys think about Antonio Brown yesterday?
If he'd have done it against Jacksonville, it'd have got a ton of publicity. Antonio Brown's a bad person, period. The Bucs knew who they were signing. Tom Brady knew who he was bringing in. This is a case where it doesn't matter what a guy did before he came to our team. He's on our team now. We don't care about any of that stuff until he does that stuff to you. This is a classic case of that, 100%. Bruce Arians took the coward way out of all people. He backed Antonio Brown with the fake vaccine card, because don't forget that. He backed Antonio Brown for that. He had a lot to say about that. But when Antonio Brown did wrong by him, he's no member of the Bucs no more. I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, come on, dude. You tried to get him to go in the game. He said, no, my ankle hurt. You said, all right, you're done for the day. And he flipped out on you. Like, that's what they say happened.
To answer your question, no, I don't give Antonio Brown any credit for being smart enough to do anything pre-planned. I just think I don't want to speculate on what CT. I just think he's always been crazy. Like, remember the pyramid haircut he gave himself? Like, that was like a year before the Vontae's perfect haircut or the hit. So, Antonio Brown is just a guy that is, you want like Aaron Rodgers marches to the beat of his own drum. That's Antonio Brown. So. He just flipped out, did his thing. His ankle looked fine when he was running off that field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did. Wow.
Just think that, to me, the story of the weekend is Danny Boy Hustle Hard on Instagram. Like, that man, that Uber driver, the personal driver of Saquon Barkley, like, has just blown up and become a celebrity on his own.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome for him, dude. Because I have read, like, there's been the New York Daily News has done reports on this guy, not just today, like a year ago. Like, this guy is the driver to all Jets and Giants players in the NFL, and Odell Beckham's personal driver when he's in New York. And I think that story to me is hilarious. Like, this guy's on call and he drives insane, by the way. I don't know if you guys read about this. He's the most fascinating person.
Dude, I followed him on Instagram. I followed him on Twitter. I've been watching these videos. Antonio Brown's in the back of the car, and he's like talking like he's one of the brothers. Like he's talking like he's on the inside, this guy.
Yeah, he is.
This guy can get you any drug you want. He can get you a prostitute from anywhere. He can hide you. He can get you away. That's what a good driver does, okay? That man will drive away from anything. Kudos to him.
Yeah, I think it was Saquon Barkley who had a quote in one of those articles saying, like, if you're 30 minutes late, he'll get you there 5 minutes early. It's like, what? Like, dude, like, this guy is a menace on the streets and everybody's in his car, dude. Like, that was hilarious, man.
That is
like,
funny. That's
but
great.
yeah, no, Scott, no credit to Antonio Brown. And honestly, I'm a big believer in karma. And that's what the Bucs get, man, for welcoming him back after the fake vaccine card. And the NFL not really doing anything. I get that they suspended him 3 days, or 3 games. But yeah, dude, this is just football karma. It is what it is. It's Antonio Brown. And I guarantee you right now, we have 3 minutes left. He will be on another team.
Yes.
Well,
100%.
You know, I thought what Tom Brady said after the game was really interesting. Like, hey, let's all be compassionate. Let's all show him some love. It was almost like as if he was saying, he's really sick. He got some major problems. And I don't know if he does or he doesn't, but I almost felt like Brady was setting that up. Like, I'm not going to rip him and not talk about him the way coach is. I'm going to tell you, that dude got major, major problems. I'm going to hurt him more by saying that than I am by saying, I don't want to talk about him.
Who would know more than Tom Brady? Than the guy that had him live with him in his home in Tampa Bay. Yeah. The guy that vouched for him to bet, that like basically told the Bucs, like, bring this guy in. Like, and it paid off last year. And it was paying off this year until the vaccine card situation. Right. So,
yeah. What else other than the Chargers and now the Raiders and this big face-off between these two teams?
The Bengals.
I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Did you just say that?
Yes, I did.
I'm glad you did.
And we got
Browner, no, we're not out of time, Browner.
40 seconds. I think he said 40 seconds.
Yeah, 40 Browner, seconds? You've been taking some heat on Twitter, and rightly so.
I don't got no Twitter heat.
He got ahead of it too. Did you see that? He got ahead of it. Started tweeting about Jamar Chase.
Yeah, right. I know. Jamar Chase is so great. I love how you know, Jim Harbaugh used to always say, if you ask Jim Harbaugh to compare two players, he would always say he doesn't compare players because one guy's going to get put down. By the way, guys, look, here's Rachel. Rachel's just walking up the stairs. And there's Jaden. Look, Alex and
we got 1 minute.
What's up, fam?
1 minute more of time.
Yeah. Okay. So look, Browner, deservedly so, Browner. You should be taking a lot of heat. You called Joe Burrow a bust, and
did.
Joe Burrow beat the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday, something Herbold couldn't do 2 weeks ago. And Joe Burrow and the Buccaneers, or excuse me, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to the playoffs, dude.
I did.
AFC North champs.
In 2022, man, I'm trying to reconcile my mistakes in life. I was wrong about that. I may have.
Scott,
I may have missed
You're
the boat
blowing
on
my
that one.
mind. Oh
I may
my
have missed the
God,
boat
you're
on that
blowing my
one.
mind.
New year, new me. He just said,
I might have missed the boat on that one.
Dude,
Wow.
somebody texted me yesterday and they said, Browner, why will Browner not give up on these bad takes? And I said, because Browner doesn't know the phrase, I stand corrected. I use it all the damn time. Just learn it. I stand corrected on Joe Burrow. I was wrong. He's a great quarterback, only in his second year. He's got the lowly Cincinnati Bengals going to the playoffs.
Listen, Jamar Chase got to go into the playoffs.
Oh, get out of here.
Y'all saw that.
This is amazing. He's incredible. But you know what, Browner? You said that he couldn't play because he played at LSU with all these NFL players. He's just bringing them to the Bengals.
Jamar Chase was on that team too.
10 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. All right, listen, we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Browner and Grande got the show. I'm going out on the ski resorts here at Mammoth Mountain. Have a great start to the new year, everybody. Much love. And I know I'll be bouncing in and out all week. Let's go.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
These are challenging times for our community.
The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter are here if you need help. We have hundreds of locations throughout the county where you can get help with food.
We have food.
It's okay to ask for help. Visit one of our drive-through and walk-up locations.
We can also help you sign up for CalFresh.
If you need help or if you can help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Our mission at Shelter to Soldier is twofold. We're saving lives 2 at a time. We adopt dogs from shelters and rescues across California, and we're training these dogs that are carefully evaluated for 12 to 18 months, and they're going to become psychiatric service dogs that are later placed with post 9/11 combat veterans.
As one of the leading law firms in California, we at the Barnes firm believe it is really important to give back to our community.
This team of amazing individuals has got to come together, and they've actually sponsored 3 dogs. One of them being our pal Barney, rescued out of a shelter, believe it or not. And he was named after the late Steve Barnes, which brings a lot of personal meaning to the team at the Barnes firm, to our organization. So being able to carry on that legacy through Barney's work and helping fellow veterans, really important to everybody, us included.
It's quite an honor for us to have Barney join the family, and we're looking forward to meeting the service member who he's paired up with.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives, or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
We use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Crews for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
Hey, Dave Smith here. Make sure you listen to my show on the Mightier 1090, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night. The only local sports talk in all of Southern California on the weekends, right here on the Mightier 1090.
The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
Here's Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon. And by Prospect Home Finance.
San Diego State men's basketball won their Mountain West Conference opener against UNLV on Saturday, 62-55. The win gave SDSU its 4th consecutive victory this season and their 15th straight against Mountain West Conference opponents. Matt Bradley had 17 points and 7 rebounds, while Kashad Johnson had 10 points, 11 rebounds. Johnson's 11 rebounds led the team and are a season high. He was named Mountain West Player of the Week for his performance. Chad Baker added 11 points, while Nathan Mensah had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. SDSU's matchup on Wednesday has been postponed due to COVID concerns within the Fresno State program. Their next match will be on Saturday against Nevada. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
When California weather conditions create a high risk for wildfires, electric companies may shut off power in some neighborhoods as a precaution. These public safety power shutoffs could affect homes and businesses and interrupt power to your home, devices, and even our Cox facilities. During a PSPS, we'll work hard to keep customers connected to their Cox services in conditions that are safe for you, our employees, and our community. For information and updates, follow us on Twitter and visit Cox.com.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Kaplan and Crew. If you missed it, the first segment, Scott is up in Mammoth, so we are giving him the day off. It's me and Browner. We got you guys for today, and we got you guys for the week. Scott will be in and out whenever his family lets him take a little break. He's going to join us, but he wanted to jump in, say Happy New Year, and I wanted to take a second and tell everybody Happy New Year. Browner, Happy New Year to you, brother. I hope you had a
Yep.
good 5 days off. Was it like torture when we make you take days off?
Yeah, man, this ain't for me, man. I'm not for the days off, bro. I'm a worker. Well, when I do what I love, I'm a
Yeah.
worker. When I don't got like a regular job, I'm out, bro. I'm out before everybody else out.
I don't like how fast days off go. You know, like
Mhm.
they just fly by because it's probably because I squeeze in so many things. Like I want to do all these like random things on my days off. I don't want to like sitting at home.
But the
So I
weather sucked the entire time we were off, mostly until yesterday.
yeah, oh this weekend, man, New Year's Day was shout out to my fiance. It was our 7-year anniversary. And
Oh, I saw y'all on the
do
boat.
what we do is yeah, we like on New Year's, like 1 year I'll plan it, next year she'll plan it. It was her turn and she went all out, dude. She got us a boat in downtown harbor and the weather was perfect. We were out there from like 3 to 5 o'clock. So yeah, you're right though. Other than that, it was like raining and cold and but yeah, Saturday was perfect. Yesterday was perfect, but I sat my ass on the couch and I watched football all day long. I didn't leave. I didn't do anything. I did nothing yesterday, and it was like the slowest day of the year, which was nice because or of my time off, not the year. Um, but I watched everything, man. How about you?
I took in full games. I watched the entire Cincinnati Chiefs game. I watched the entire. Well, this was later in the afternoon, like later at night. I watched the entirety of the Cowboys Cardinals game. Obviously, I watched the Chargers game. I
I
watched another.
barely watched that because it was just not even close. I was like, okay, we'll see them against the Raiders, you know,
Right.
like
I still
so
watched it. I needed to see. I
okay,
need to see a healthy win. I need to see them stomp somebody.
yeah, which they did. For a while there, though, it looked like the Broncos wanted to make it somewhat of a game. They just are like they were physically incapable of doing anything on offense, and then especially Drew Lock is already bad, but when he got hurt, they were like bad, bad, bad. So we'll get into all of that. We're gonna get into we talked about Chargers, Raiders. It's the final game of the 2021 season on Sunday night primetime. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the Rams because I'm telling you, man, the more and more I pay attention to the Rams, the less and less I believe in them. The
Yeah.
less I believe in them, man, because and it's a quarterback league, and their quarterback is the one that just is. I am doubting that man,
And the
and that's
Ravens
that.
were not good yesterday. Let's be very clear
Right.
on something. The Ravens were not good yesterday. That is a backup rookie quarterback, but because they have good structure, he can do what they need him to do. There's nothing special. Huntley will be a career 15-year guy. As a backup, he will make multi double digit millions of dollars as a backup. He will never
Yeah.
be a starter. He will never be a star. And they struggled yesterday. They
I
barely beat them.
wonder, I wonder how John Harbaugh sleeps at night, knowing that he didn't cost the team his game.
Mm.
But by going for it in back-to-back weeks for the 2-point conversion instead of the tie, like they're out of the playoffs. Like so many things have to happen for them to even sniff the playoffs, and they've lost what 5 in a row,
Yeah.
some ridiculous number like that. So yeah, the Ravens did not play well, and yet they still had a chance to win that game. It took a massive comeback from the Rams. So shout out Sean McVay. You won a game that you trailed at halftime, which we haven't been able to say very often for you. So, but yeah, dude, the Ravens have been I mean, they went from 8-3 to 8-8. That
Oh,
is the biggest collapse of the season so far. And
that
listen,
hurts.
COVID, Lamar Jackson going for 2. I get it all, but damn, that hurts if you're the Ravens. We'll get into that later. I do want to talk about the national championship. I do think that the both college football playoff games were awful. Obviously, if you watch them,
Terrible game.
Cincinnati just ruined any group of 5 future. Like we ain't ever gonna see that again.
And by the way, let's be clear. Of the group of 5, that was probably the best group of 5 ever, right? In my opinion, that Cincinnati team was probably the best group of 5 team ever. And they got
UCF
out.
would probably say something about that, but maybe.
Maybe yes, that's true. But I believe the Cincinnati team was the best that they could have ever put up for show. They didn't belong on the same field as Alabama. Like
No.
and those were 5th-year seniors that Cincinnati had. That's why they
Yeah.
were so much better this year. Those are 5th-year guys. and they did not belong on the
Yeah.
field with Alabama.
And we found our new Derrick Henry because that running back for Alabama is a monster. And
Mm.
I think he ran for like 220 some yards. Cincinnati had no answer for anything. And
Nothing.
I think Alabama only scored 27 points, I believe. So it wasn't like they were just throwing up this massive amounts of numbers, but defensively, Cincinnati, just nothing. And
Nothing.
Michigan, too. Michigan looked like they didn't belong on the field with Georgia. Michigan looked awful, too. So we got, I honestly think that for the first time in the national championship, I am not upset that it's an SEC rematch because they're the two best teams this year. I think that's just clear that Georgia and Alabama are the two best teams this year, and they get to play again.
They have
Hopefully,
the most
Georgia
talent.
makes it a better game.
They have the most talent. They have the best coaching, and they clearly dominated the other two teams. So it wasn't like, oh, Michigan missed a field goal. I don't think Michigan could have beat Cincinnati, but that's the difference in talent level between those two teams and the two teams that they beat. So it was a terrible college football weekend, starting with what was said on College Game Day.
Yeah, so let's get to that now. Let's start the show like we normally do. I want to get into like the passing of John Madden because, I mean, it's John Madden. We didn't get a chance to talk about that last week. The NFL playoffs they're almost set, but there's still so much maneuvering that can happen. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers and why I think he's just a big dummy. I'll get to that later, but we're going to start off today's show like we always do. Browner, go ahead.
I can take a lot of things. A lot of things get me riled up because I'm a riled up person. I like conversation, not confrontation, but I like communication. But some things get said, and you just go, "Come on, man! Now that's dumb." On this show, I took back something when the show started. I was wrong about Joe Burrow. I can take it. I was wrong about that. Kurt Herbstreit said probably one of the most short-sighted, stupid things I think I've heard someone say from that position in a very long time. College football live, game day live. I don't know what it's called. One of those. It's not
College
a hot
Game
take.
Day.
What is it?
College Game Day.
College Game Day live. It's not a hot take show. They don't go on there and just say things because we're trying to get clicks. It's not first take. It's not speak for yourself. It's none of that, okay? It's a show that talks about games from a statistical and analytical perspective. Who's going to win? They have fun with the kids in the background. This is dumb. This is very dumb. This is Kurt Herbstreit and Desmond Howard, of all people, talking about Chris Olave opting out of the Ohio State Rose Bowl game.
Money, the amount of money, like what's the difference as a player in saying these games are meaningless when, Des, we played in quote-unquote meaningless games. I mean, I know you guys were here a lot, but I just don't understand. If you don't make it to the playoff, how is it meaningless to play football and compete? Isn't that what we do as football players? We compete. So I don't know if changing and expanding it is going to change anything. I really don't. I think this era of player just doesn't love football.
That's what I was about to say. We're dealing with a total different mentality.
To say that these kids don't love football, that's moronic. Because you know what happened later that night? You had one of the highest scoring, best bowl games of the year happen on the field at the Rose Bowl behind you two clowns. Because you know why? Because these kids care about football. Chris Olave cares about football because he's going to the NFL to play more football. Like, you guys don't do the show. Kurt Herbstreit, I'm going to stick with you. I'm not going to talk about your college career because it wasn't great. I'm going to talk about your NFL career because it was non-existent. It doesn't mean that they don't love football because they don't want to play in a game that is only played now to generate money. Period. The only reason why they're playing these bowl games is to generate money. And if you need a greater example of that, did you know that 3 teams switched bowl games because one game paid more than the other game? Because it's about money now. And the kids know that. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame for LSU because it's about money now. And the kids know that. So why would they then take a chance on jeopardizing their future, which, by the way, Chris Olave already did by coming back this year to play for Ohio State when he could have gone to the NFL last year. So if you want to pick on somebody about not loving football like you did, he ain't the one, bro. He ain't the one.
I agree with you, dude. I think that the conversation is just old now at this point. I think the old talking heads, the old school guys, are just not going to understand it. And I do. And I just think that, listen, these guys, obviously, that they have the opportunity to play for Ohio State, that's going to get them to the NFL. And I think maybe, that's where maybe Kirk Herbstreit was just pissed off because he went to Ohio State and he didn't think they were going to have a chance. I don't know, man. Well, there might be so many different things there. But for me, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Unless you're in the playoff and if you don't want to play, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I do think that I don't want to go as far as to say that they're meaningless, although I kind of tend to agree with that. Obviously, like if you watch San Diego State's bowl game, they broke the school record, so it's not meaningless anymore because they got the school record. They're going to go down in the history as the most winningest team in school history.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. How many kids on the other team missed the bowl game because they wanted to go to
Yeah, like 9 or 11, something like that. Yeah,
Right,
no,
so
I get it.
yes,
Right, but
the game has 2 teams in it.
yeah, no, I understand, and I agree with that. If Chris Olave did not want to play because he's trying to get look what happened with Ole Miss. Their quarterback, who's probably the second or third best quarterback going into the draft, he played in a meaningless bowl game and he rolled his ankle. And now thankfully it's not a broken ankle, but it is a significant injury that he's now going to have to deal with and answer questions about when he goes to the draft. All his pre-draft workouts might be affected now. So yeah, I think that to be smart about your future, Chris Olave is a highly decorated receiver for Ohio State. He's given everything to that university. It's okay
Everything.
if he misses the Rose Bowl because now it also gave his teammates the opportunity to go shine. I can't even say the guys Jackson Smith's last name and Marvin Harrison, 6
man.
touchdowns
Not even close.
combined. What's that?
I said I wouldn't even attempt. I wouldn't even get close.
Yeah. So, by the way, I had no idea Marvin Harrison was old enough to have a kid already playing for Ohio State. But
Dude.
that was a crazy game by Jackson Smith. He got 3 touchdowns, 347 yards. 347 yards. By the way, when I watched it, I didn't watch a lot of that game. But when I watched it, how did San Diego State beat Utah?
Man.
How did San Diego State beat Utah?
Man, that's one of those things when you go best team on game day.
Dude, now you're talking about like it's a week-to-week league. That's, I guess, because I was watching that and dude, it was like Utah's offense looked great and San Diego State neutralized. I know they went to triple overtime, but man, oh man. But yes, I'm with you, Browner, and I will stand on that soapbox as much as Kirk Herbstreit's going to stand on his. It's a generic, lame thing to say this generation of football player don't love football.
Well,
Why?
I mean,
Because they like TikTok? Because Chase Claypool's kind of an idiot sometimes? You know what I mean? Like because they don't want to play.
Like the question I would have for Kirk Herbstreit is, does the person who had your job before you love it more than you because you make more than them? Like what are we doing? Like, because you're in a position to speak, to say something like that. And I get, and I know people are going to jump out and say, oh, but he came back and he clarified. He only clarified what he said because it was trending on Twitter within 10 minutes. Like it was an avalanche. The second somebody could cut that clip and put it on the internet, it was an avalanche of people jumping on him. And they're obviously aware of that. And it got back to him and they allowed him to try to clarify his conversation or what he said. But you can't avoid, that's what he meant. So don't let him backtrack. That's what he meant. He feels like guys in his era loved football more than guys now, which is just idiotic because kids are playing for money just like the coaches are now playing for money. I don't got a problem with that.
I think it's different. I think that it's different.
Vastly different.
And it's difficult for these guys. This is also the same Kirk Herbstreit who said like, oh, I thought group of 5 schools couldn't get into the playoff when it was the first one ever. You know, like Kirk is, I don't know, he's got like this elitist football mind that he runs with.
Perfect way to describe him. He's a football elitist.
Yeah. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not as passionate about Kirk Herbstreit as I am passionate about kids having the ability to choose and doing whatever they want with their decision, which was I was a proponent of kids making money. I'm a proponent of kids opting out of bowl games that are technically meaningless to them. If you're not in the college football playoff, you're playing an exhibition game.
Yes.
You know who's benefiting off that exhibition game? The university.
And what do
university?
What do we hear about college football? Then this is the one thing that they drill into you about college football, whether it be on TV or why they love it and why they don't want too many playoff games, because every game means something. Right. Every game matters. That's what they always tell you. Right. Every game matters.
So we were talking about, you said in the beginning of your rant, you said a school switched bowl games because the other one paid more. And you're talking about Central Michigan, who bailed from the Arizona Bowl.
Right.
And switched to the Florida Bowl, I think, or the Sun Bowl, excuse me. or the payout went from 350,000 to 4.5 million. Now, how much of that money do the kids get from Central Michigan of that 4.5 million? Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, they get benefits of the program getting that benefit, but no, they don't get paid. So I understand. And I'll leave it at that because I wasn't planning on talking about Kirk Herbstreit today. Although I did see it trending all weekend, and I did see him get dragged, which
deservedly so.
Deservedly so. Exactly. All right, Browner. This is Kaplan and Crew at kaplanandcrew.com is everywhere you can find this show. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the audio podcasts. Make sure you check us out on kaplanandcrew.com. We are presented by 7 Mile Casino, just minutes south from downtown San Diego. Go check them out. And they now have a Sammy's restaurant for to go along with all of their table games at 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com. Browner, should we start with Chargers, or do you want to start with Antonio Brown? Because to me, the Chargers winning was not a surprise.
Right.
To me, the Raiders winning was a much bigger surprise, which sets up this huge, massive Sunday night primetime game. But the story of the weekend is Antonio Brown. I mean, if you turn on any talking head show, they're talking Antonio Brown. But where do you want to start? You want to go Chargers or Antonio Brown?
We can start with Antonio Brown.
We've got a few minutes here, and then we'll get into it deeper. So, for those of you who live under a rock or did not watch anything yesterday, because this was everywhere, the Buccaneers were losing pretty handily to the Jets yesterday.
Bad. It looked bad.
It looked very bad. They looked offensively, they looked disorganized, incapable, and defensively, they were getting beat up by a guy named Braxton Berrios, believe it or not. And I believe it was in the third quarter where, at least this is the way it goes. I can only say it was the way it was reported, that Bruce Arians asked Antonio Brown twice to get into the game, and Brown refused twice to get into the game. Then Bruce Arians said, "All right, get out of here." And Antonio Brown took that literally and got out of there. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the radio, I suggest you come watch on our YouTube show. If you're watching on Cox Steer View, this is a video taken from the stands. And you see Mike Evans trying to prevent him from leaving. And Antonio Brown just takes off his pads. He literally is just taking off his shoulder pads. It says, F this, throws the shoulder pads under the bench, starts cussing. You could see, I don't know who he's directing it to. I'm assuming Bruce Arians. And he starts stripping down, takes his gloves off, takes his Under Armour off, chucks it into the stands. His ankle looks fine. I'll tell you why that matters. He throws his gloves, and then he starts riling the crowd up. And he's literally, as the game is going, Browner, as the game is going, this is
during the play.
During a play, Antonio Brown is walking into the end zone, starts piping the crowd out, jumping up and down, saying peace, puts the deuces up, and runs off into the tunnel, never to be seen again. Or so we think, because it is the internet and everybody has a cell phone. When the game was not even over, we saw this picture from Snapchat. Someone saying, Antonio Brown waiting for a ride. How do you know it's from yesterday? Look at the flags on the top left of the picture. New York Jets flags. That is right outside MetLife Stadium. So after this, I'm just setting it up, Browner, and then we'll get into all of it. After this, because it's the internet and because everybody finds everybody, we find Antonio Brown in an Uber.
Go viral out here is nothing short but viral. Hey, Bizzle, talk to him, Cheech. Come on, baby.
Man, listen, this is going to make my nephew.
You know what time it is, boy.
So that is Danny Boy Hustle Hard on Instagram. He is the personal driver to Saquon Barkley. And actually, let me pull up his Instagram because it's actually, you could really see he does have pictures with all these dudes. Not sure the actual relationship, how far it goes, but it's at Danny Boy Hustle Hard, who when I first checked yesterday, I think like 3,000 followers. And as of today, 15,000 followers he has. His bio is personal driver to Odell Beckham Jr., Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Jamal Adams, Kenny Galladay, PJ Tucker, Brooks Koepka, and others. And here you see, this is him with AJ Brown. This is him with Saquon Barkley on the left there and Sterling Shepard on the right. So this guy obviously connected in the New York area. And that's it. After the game, after the game, Bruce Arians was asked what happened with Antonio Brown. What he said.
I've never seen a guy leave a field like that, and is this the last strike for him?
He is no longer a Buck. All right, that's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
He's no longer a Buck, and I think that that's it. He's no longer a Buck. I am blown away by what happened with Antonio Brown yesterday, dude. Blown away. Like, we've seen him do some things before, but this is to do it in the middle of a game. That's crazy.
I wouldn't say. Oh, I'm gonna
got
start
30 seconds, and we'll get into it more.
How many seconds?
30 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians should be ashamed of himself. You carried water for this dude when he did everything negative and he did everything stupid that you wouldn't kick him off the team for. Now he publicly gave you no option other than to kick him off the team, and now you don't want to talk about it. Come on, bro.
Well, let's get into it much, much more when we come back. This is Kaplan and Crew, kaplanandcrew.com. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
San Diego State men's basketball won their Mountain West Conference opener against UNLV on Saturday, 62-55. The win gave SDSU its 4th consecutive victory this season and their 15th straight against Mountain West Conference opponents. Matt Bradley had 17 points and 7 rebounds, while Kashad Johnson had 10 points, 11 rebounds. Johnson's 11 rebounds led the team and are a season high. He was named Mountain West Player of the Week for his performance. Chad Baker added 11 points, while Nathan Mensah had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. SDSU's matchup on Wednesday has been postponed due to COVID concerns within the Fresno State program. Their next match will be on Saturday against Nevada. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Welcome to Team Mazda of El Cajon. Thank you for joining us today for
trip to San Diego's first Mazda Retail Evolution facility. It takes years and years to put all this together and to make Team Mazda a reality. Unbelievable team here.
Thank you to John and Corinne for the opportunity. It's a privilege and an honor to say that this is the store I get to be the general manager of.
I do want to speak to what I have in my hand here. It is a big, heavy plaque representing the grand opening. So I want to present this to John, say thank you again.
We're very proud of the work that you're doing here. I commend you on your future prosperity. At this point, I want to invite you all outside to hear a drum demonstration.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
Our mission at Shelter to Soldier is twofold. We're saving lives two at a time. We adopt dogs from shelters and rescues across California, and we're training these dogs that are carefully evaluated for 12 to 18 months, and they're going to become psychiatric service dogs that are later placed with post 9/11 combat veterans.
As one of the leading law firms in California, we at the Barnes firm believe it is really important to give back to our community.
This team of amazing individuals has come together, and they've actually sponsored 3 dogs. One of them being our pal Barney, rescued out of a shelter, believe it or not. And he was named after the late Steve Barnes, which brings a lot of personal meaning to the team at the Barnes firm, to our organization. So being able to carry on that legacy through Barney's work and helping fellow veterans is really important to everybody, us included.
It's quite an honor for us to have Barney join the family, and we're looking forward to meeting the service member who he's paired up with.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Crews for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on your view, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
The holidays are all about gathering with family and friends, and that's exactly how we're celebrating today.
At a working farm that echoes with the laughter of children and aglow with holiday lights.
Aww.
Today on